right, Panther Cubs. Today is Friday of week 20. I'll read all the questions to you and then pause the video to finish if you haven't already. Number 1, how much is 7 quarters, 8 dimes, and 6 nickels altogether? Number 2, compare. Number 3, what fraction of the candles on the cake are lit? Number 4, Adrian has 27 pairs of socks. In each sock, he puts 7 marbles. How many marbles does Adrian have in all? Okay, so if you haven't done the work, please pause the video and do the work. Okay. Number 1, how much is 7 quarters, 8 dimes, and 6 nickels all together? Okay, so let's start with the easier ones. 8 dimes. 1 dime is 10 cents. So 8 dimes is 80 cents. 6 nickels. Well, I know 1 nickel is 5 cents. So 6 times 5 is 30 cents. Now, 7 quarters. I'm going to break my quarters apart into 4 quarters and 3 quarters. Why do you think I would have broken my quarters into a group of 4 and a group of 3? Well, one group of 4 quarters is worth $1. So that takes care of 4 of the quarters. I have 3 quarters left. 3 quarters, well, if I know 2 quarters is 50, then I just add another quarter on to make 75. And then finally, I just have to add it all together. 500 is 5. Okay, I'm gonna look for a tens fact here. I see 7 and 3 make 10. I want a 10 because it's easy to add. 10 and 8 makes 18. 100 is 2. So $2.85. Okay, number 2, compare. All right, so far we've officially learned one strategy for comparing fractions, and we're working on this common denominator today. But if I know that I need to compare them, I'm looking to see, is any part of it the same? So I see that the numerators are the same. And that means that I have 1 piece. Everybody gets 1 piece. It's fair. Okay? What's not fair, though, if I have 1 piece that's a third and 1 piece that's an eighth, what's not fair is not how many I have, but the size of the piece. So the size is not fair. So then I'm thinking about the size. Okay? And remember, the size, the more people I have to share with, the smaller piece that I get. So I'm sharing with 3 people or I'm sharing with 8 people. And I'd rather share with 3 people so that I get more. So 1/3 is bigger than 1/8. Okay, to recap, we checked to see if anything's the same, and we saw that the numerators were the same. So everybody gets 1 piece, okay? 1 piece for everybody. Okay, so it's like you and your brother or you and your sister, you each get 1 piece. But the size of your pieces is different, so you have to compare the size of those pieces. Okay, number 3 asks what fraction of the candles on the cake are lit. Okay, so what does the word lit mean? Lit is the plural, or like another tense of light. So what fraction of the candles on the cake have light? So first I'm going to count, and I'm going to highlight the ones that are lit or have light. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 that they're asking me about. So that's my numerator, because the numerator is how many they're asking about. Denominator is how many on the whole cake. not how many are not lit, but remember, denominator is how many in one whole. So I have 4 that are highlighted and 3 that are not. So that makes a total of 7. So there are 4/7 of the candles that are lit. All right, and the last one, UPSC. Okay, this is going to be a tricky one if you don't do UPSC. So if you have not done UPSC, pause the video and get it done. Okay, don't just watch it because that's not helping you if you don't try it on your own first. It says Adrian has 27 pairs of socks. In each pair of socks, or I'm sorry, in each sock, he put 7 marbles. How many marbles does Adrian have in all? Okay, so I'm going to go sentence by sentence to get the important information. So, first sentence, Adrian has 27 pairs of socks. So I'm going to say 27 pairs. He has 27 pairs. What's a pair of socks? Okay, here's a sock, but that is not a pair of socks. A pair of socks goes 1 for each foot. So a pair of socks is 2 socks. So 27 pairs means that he has 2 socks in each pair. Okay. In each sock, not each pair, each sock, he put 7 marbles. And then we want to know how many marbles in all. Okay. All right, so we need to make sure we're paying attention to what's happening here. We need to know that pairs means 2. We see the word each. I've told you before, each means either multiplication or division. But because in the question it says in all, it says, let me find it here. Have in all, if I see the word each and in all, that means multiplication. Okay, because remember on the pyramid, this is your total. Okay, so if I'm trying to find in all, that's a total I'm looking up here. Okay, but it's not as simple as 27 times 7. Okay, and that's because it's talking about pairs of socks. So if I want to, before I can figure out how many marbles he has in all, I need to figure out how many socks he has. So how do I figure out how many socks he has? If he has 27 pairs of socks. So to figure out if he has 27 left foots, he has 27 right foot socks, or 27 times 2. Okay, that tells me a total number of socks. Okay, next I'm working with the marbles. So then it says, so I took care of the 27 pairs. Next I have to deal with the each sock is 7. So I need to take how many socks, and I see the word each, so I know it's either multiplication or division, and the question's asking me for a total, so I need to know it's multiplication, times 7 equals our answer. And if you don't believe me, we can start drawing. Here's 1 sock with 7. Here's 2 socks with 7. 3 socks with 7. 4 socks have 7. 5 socks have 7. 6 socks have 7, and so forth until we get all of the socks, okay? Which is why it's multiplication, because these look like groups, okay? So first we're gonna do 27 plus 27. Okay, 7 plus 7 is 14. 1 plus 2, I'm going to do my doubles first. 2 and 2 is 4, and 1 more is 5. Okay, once I solve step 1, I'm going to check step 1 to make sure I got the right answer. Because if you get the wrong answer, then step 2 will be wrong. Okay, so I do the opposite. 54 minus 27. I work from bottom to top. My bigger number's on the floor, so I'm going to go next door and trade in. I trade in a 10 rod for 10 ones. I already had 4 ones. I got 10 more. I have 14. 14 take away 7 is 7. More on top. No need to stop. And that matches. So step 1 was correct. Now, step 2. We take our answer and multiply it by 7. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm gonna first split my number into expanded form, and I'm gonna erase so that I have space here so that it doesn't get crumpled up, because when I start getting things crumpled up, we start having problems. So 50 plus 4 makes 54. Okay, and if you remember when we did the groups, we would have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we would have had 7 of those, which is where we get the 50, the 5 10s, and the 4 1s. So first I'm going to figure out how many 1s do I have. I have 7 groups of 4 1s. 7 groups of 4 1s is 28. Okay, I could split the 4 into a 2 and a 2. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 2 is 14. Add it together is how I got 28. Okay. Next, I need to do 7 times 50, which is really 7 groups of 5 10s. So 7 times 5 10s. 7 times 5, I know, because I can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. But it's not just 35, it's 35 10s. So anytime I have 10s, I add a 0 to the end to make the 10s. Okay, so that says 35, and that 0 is holding the place for 10s because the 35 is in the 10s place. Okay, now we add it all together. 8, 2 plus 5 is 7. And 3 plus 0 is 3. So 378, and we don't want a naked number, so we label it, we have 378 marbles. And that's our final answer. Now to solve it, I would do 50, since I don't know long division, I'm gonna do 54, I'm gonna do repeated addition, and I'm gonna group them so it's not so tedious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 54 and 54 is 108. That takes care of those two. 54 and 54, 108. 54 and 54, 108. And then 54. Okay, so 8 plus 8 plus 8, that's like 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 4 more is 18, or I'm sorry, 28, not 18. 24 plus 4 is 28, so I carry my 2 10s. 2 plus 5 is 7, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. And we got the same answer. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't see that. We got the same answer, so we know our answer is correct. Please make sure your name is on your paper and that it gets put in the math basket. If you finish early, please move on to the next must do, or the if you're doing centers, onto IXL fraction skills.